Okay, guys, it's 7 o'clock. I want to call the meeting to order. I want to stay on schedule.
All right.
Tonight, we're taking up DPW. Just to let you know, next week, I've already got posted for town boards and town hall, and that would be on the 8th. And then the following week, I'm going to post for other departments and debt and employee benefits. And then that'll get us to the schools. So, like I said, I'm gonna double up next week because there are two departments that can be doubled up without any issue at all. And tonight we'll take DPW. Is Brendan coming tonight?
He's here. Hi.
Oh, hi Brendan, sorry, I didn't see you. Yeah. Brendan, sit at the conference table and make yourself comfortable. Before we do anything, I really would like to say that DPW, the staff, all the men, supporting staff, the town hall, everywhere did a great job this winter, and one of the most trying seasons we can remember in a long time. I've received an incredible amount of input from people in town saying that you guys did a great job. So kudos to the men and thank you for everybody's hard work. And it was the whole town employee system. You know, it wasn't just one group of people. Everybody contributed in one way or another. The men were out there tirelessly working for hours upon hours. So please convey that to them, that a lot of people have commented, you know, how great of a job the town did. So with that being said, I don't really have anything else to say. Manager, do you have anything to say before we get into it? Okay, so let's get right into the budget. Let's go to forestry, which is page 39 and 47.
And 47.
Okay, 39 is the highway division. Sure, everything is full of contractual.
Water Street. 39.
No, you're on 47?
40's the highway division.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry,
Yeah, 39.
I can't see. Sorry, forestry, I stand corrected. But looks like it's contractual, except everything else is level funded. Any questions by the committee?
What's the head count? Do we know approximately?
For forestry?
Correct.
Brendan, how many employees in forestry? Two?
There's two, one position currently unfilled, but there's two positions there.
Thank you.
Okay, we can go to page 47, which would be the expenses. It's up 5,000. Any questions from the committee? No? DPW Administration, page 38 and 46. Is there any questions by the committee?
No.
We go to expenses on page 46. I mean, it looks like everything is straight contractual and it's up $1,200.
Jim,
Yes,
can we go back to page 38 for a second?
sure.
Curiosity. I'm just looking over the actuals through November. Am I not reading this correctly?
That's last year,
Yes, I am looking at last year.
yeah. That's
Are we
a
still, I guess-
split, you have to add, if I'm not mistaken, George, I
It's a
think you
split,
gotta add,
okay.
you gotta add, the 101 and the
290.
291,
Okay,
if
so we're
I'm
on
not
track.
mistaken. Yeah,
Tracking correctly then. Okay, thank you.
okay, so, no questions on, like I say, administration's gone up $1,200 or something. Engineering, page 57. So now we have 2 engineers plus Brendan, 3 engineers, correct?
Yeah, and we also have a GIS manager and planner, coordinator.
Thank you.
They're heading up the permits, electronic permitting and GIS, trying to coordinate all the departments with a global system that can, each department can communicate with each other and draw information back and forth.
So once again, that's you can. Okay, guys,
You
it's
get-
7 o'clock. I
Okay.
want to call the meeting to order. I want to stay on schedule.
All right.
Tonight, we're taking up DPW. Just to let you know, next week, I've already got posted for town boards and town hall, and that would be on the 8th. And then the following week, I'm going to post for other departments and debt and employee benefits. And then, that'll get us to the schools. So, like I said, I'm gonna double up next week because there are two departments that can be doubled up without any issue at all. And tonight we'll take DPW. Is Brendan coming tonight?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, hi Brendan, sorry, I didn't see you come in. Brendan, sit at the conference table and make yourself comfortable. Before we do anything, I really would like to say that DPW, the staff, all the men, supporting staff, the town hall, everywhere, did a great job this winter, and one of the most trying seasons we can remember in a long time. I've received an incredible amount of input from people in town saying that you guys did a great job, so kudos to the men and thank you for everybody's hard work. And it was the whole town employee system. You know, it wasn't just one group of people, everybody contributed in one way or another. The men were out there tirelessly working for hours upon hours, so please convey that to them, that a lot of people have commented, you know, how great of a job the town did. So, with that being said, I don't really have anything else to say. Manager, do you have anything to say before we get into it? Okay, so let's get right into the budget. Let's go to forestry, which is page 39 and 47.
And 47.
Okay, 39 is the highway division. Sure, everything is full of contractual.
Water Street, 39.
No, you're on 47?
40's the highway division.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry,
Yeah, 39.
I can't see. Sorry, forestry, I stand corrected. But looks like it's contractual, except, everything else is level funded. Any questions by the committee?
What's the head count, do we know approximately?
For forestry,
Correct.
Brendan, how many employees in forestry? Two?
There's two, one position currently unfilled, but there's two positions, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, we can go to page 47, which would be the expenses. It's up 5,000. Any questions from the committee? No? DPW Administration, page 38 and 46. Is there any questions by the committee?
No.
We go to expenses on page 46. I mean, it looks like everything is straight contractual and it's up $1,200.
Jim,
Yes,
can we go back to page 38 for a second?
sure.
Curiosity. I'm just looking over the actuals through November. Am I not reading this correctly?
That's last year,
Yes, I am looking at last year.
yeah. That's
Are we
a
still on, I guess-
split, you have to add, if I'm not mistaken, George, I
It's a
think you
split,
gotta add,
okay.
you gotta add,
Oh,
the 101 and the
290.
291,
Okay,
if
so we're
I'm
on
not
track.
mistaken. Yeah,
Tracking correctly then. Okay, thank you.
okay, so, no questions on, like I say, administration's gone up $1,200 or something. Engineering, page 57. So now we have 2 engineers plus Brendan, 3 engineers, correct?
Yeah, and we also have a GIS manager and planner, coordinator.
Thank you.
They're heading up the permits, electronic permitting and GIS, trying to coordinate all the departments with a global system that can, each department can communicate with each other and draw information back and forth.
So once again, you can see that's a COLA raise, it's so insignificant. Highway and DPW, 40, 48, and 56. And before, I have a question unrelated to the budget, because I keep on getting asked from people. Brendan, National Grid, if I'm not mistaken, it was the gas division, has done a lot of work on Central Street and up on, Central Street near the, what do you call it, the apartment buildings that are going in, on the corner, which is a mess. And then, up on Central Street, up by Denver Street, which they had a gas leak that they found, but they had to do a lot of work, and it's like going through, you know, a terrain that's beyond control. Are they gonna come back and repair the patch jobs they did, because they're absolutely horrible?
That's my understanding. The engineers are running that project, it's a separate department, so, but I'll check in with them tomorrow and find out where that stands. There's
Okay,
supposed to be a gas main replacement, that entire length from either Adams or Denver to Winter Street. But they haven't submitted a plan to us yet as to when that's exactly gonna take place. It did take them 4+ digs to find a leak that they were looking for.
I mean, it was a
in that area.
leak, so, you know, that's dangerous, of course, and that's had to be done, but the actual patch job, it's like, when you drive over it, it's like
it-
going through hills.
It is, and then, excuse me for interrupting, but I did want to say thank you very much for those nice words at the beginning of the meeting.
Oh.
The gentlemen and the women appreciate the acknowledgement, and thank you again for those words.
You're welcome, they're well-deserved, and it was everybody, I mean, it was people in the offices, the men out in the field, you know, plowing, you know, for endless hours, and I really have received multiple compliments from people that came up to me and said how good of a job the town did. And I know it doesn't, you know, it starts at town hall here, coordinating, you being on
Right.
call all the time,
Right.
and all the men doing as good of a job,
So
so.
Town Hall is intricately involved in it as well, you're correct. Specifically with respect to the issue on Central Street and other places in town, this would be the time that the town engineer, this time of year, so this month and into next month, the town engineers will be going around the town, looking at the trenches from last year, looking at any defects and calling the respective entity to make sure that they fix those defects. We had a meeting yesterday afternoon, actually, on some of the issues that National Grid says they're gonna come and fix. As you might imagine, the areas that they think they have to fix, we think there's a lot more than they think. there is to
Of course.
Yeah, and I think
So-
just that if you know the history, everybody does, and the selectmen have dealt with this in the past years. National was very challenging to get them to fix anything or.
Change
fix-
poles,
Well,
everything.
the trenches and
Yeah.
all these things, they become thing, and you can't get them to come back out. They're actually, in the last, over the past last year, specifically in the last few months, they're going out without even having a permit or authorization and digging trenches and without dig safe and telling, you know, basically saying, telling the town, you know, we can do whatever we want. And engineers in Brendan have been trying to deal with that issue, but it's sort of, I think the whole world's sort of gotten unruly, you know, with different things, and this is one of those. But it's always been a challenge with National Grid to kind of clean up or to go back and fix things after things settle.
Yeah, and we shouldn't have to fund that, they should do it, and they should be forced to do it if we, you know, if not, you know, of course, I'm not in administration or anything, but,
No, we get the calls and we drive the
Yeah.
road, so that we all do the same thing. It's just a challenge to you know, try to work with them. I think in the past, the selectmen have actually voted against approving things that they've
Perfect.
come for, but I think now.
except for emergencies.
Well, now they're bypassing, even going to the selectmen for permission or approvals on certain polls and different things, they just do it.
Well, that's not their responsibility.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think by charter, it should be going through.
No, the polls and stuff, the selectmen vote on those, but what I'm saying is that they're not even coming for any of that, they're not
They're
coming.
not even coming for them. Unbelievable. Okay, highway, salaries, page 40. Well, other than the COLA, overtime went up, 15,000. No, that was the request, no, it was level funded.
Yeah, I think, Mr. Chairman, just to follow up on that, I think I've talked about this, hopefully no surprises, but for the last probably 7+ years, we've had very good mild winters. Cost of everything is through the roof, whether you
Yeah,
buy
I don't wanna
salt,
see our ice and snow.
salt, all that, you know, that's gonna be quite a significant amount, in the sense of, but, you know, obviously, we try to fund that, you know, we fund that or appropriate to the expenses that we incur within the calendar year, the fiscal year, so, but they're gonna be different than, you know, when we had big winters, 7 years ago, they're different than a big winter these days, you know what I mean?
So when we do the snow and ice removal, you know, for this fiscal year, will we be able to go through all the equipment and capture all the damages that may have been done to plows and equipment and things of that nature?
Yeah, they do all that after
Because
the
that should be
season.
included in it.
Yeah, they go through that and evaluate, things that need to be repaired during and after.
Ken?
Yes, Debbie, Terry.
I just wanted to ask, how many men are in the highway department?
Including the foreman, there's 5 positions, and I believe all 5 are.
Phil, then we have another one, we have somebody else that's starting, I think,
So
next
that-
week.
That would mean all 5 positions
Okay.
are filled.
That's what I wanted to
But
know.
you
if
have
they were all
subs.
filled.
Helping with the plowing also, right?
Private contractors.
Yes,
or-
yes.
Subcontractor, private
Yeah,
contractor.
yes.
Let me ask you a question about, what Mr. Chairman said about the replacement or repair of the machine. Guess, your best guesstimate, how much on a percentage basis would you say out of your budget is used? And I know on the severity of the winters, based on this one, it's probably gonna be more, but in general, how much do you guys usually spend on the upkeep of the equipment?
If we can relate it, majority of it associated with snow and ice, because we use the same vehicles for regular construction work and maintenance work as snow and
okay.
ice. If we can relate it to snow and ice,
Okay,
then it's gonna be paid for under the snow and ice budget.
gotcha.
This particular year, I'd say we're over $200,000 in vehicle repairs.
Which is considerably much less than what we had in the past. I
Yeah.
mean, things are more expensive, but one of the things that we always do is to make sure that the equipment's up to date, and we replace older
Of course.
equipment. And we never did that years ago,
Yeah.
decades ago, so that's something that helps with keeping your maintenance and repair bills down.
And that's just for my context and my clarity and maybe the benefit of others, but then to echo the chairman's, I mean, all you have to do is drive in other towns after the snows and to see what our roads were like and compared to Saugus, Wakefield, Linfield.
So they, even in, like, you go down the South Shore, I don't know if you people follow the news, they're having all kinds of cuts just to pay for snow and ice.
Let me tell you something, when they
Real
had a
bad.
parking ban all winter long, it was absolutely terrible. I've got a lot of friends that live there still.
Where's this?
Winthrop,
Oh, yeah,
not far away,
Yeah.
Mr. Manager.
yeah.
It was absolutely
The South
horrendous.
Shore got hit pretty hard this year.
They had
Well, down-
sinkholes,
down
infrastructure problems, they had plows going down the street that were getting caught in sink, it was on the news. I'm sure someone in this room saw it.
But my brother lives in Marshfield, said it was the worst winter he's ever had. Damage to his property and everything, so they got hit real bad down there, you're right.
Duxbury,
Very
all of them
grateful.
are in big trouble, Cohasset, with the snow and ice budget, because they have no way of paying for it.
Right.
The Ironworks was fantastic where I live, Ironworks neighborhood, thank you guys.
Okay, we said,
Expenses.
as we're on Highway DPW on page 48. Any questions? It's up $25,000. Next one would be page 56. So it's up 25,000. What specifically, do we know right yet, what specifically we're gonna be looking for in there?
No, we just keep this as a
Capital
placeholder.
Placeholder,
Yeah,
okay.
because there's different things that come up during the year that we may use or supplement this with something else that's a larger purchase or just use directly from this.
In case there's an emergency, it's already appropriated.
Correct.
Any questions by the committee? Oh boy, snow and ice, page 41 and 49. So, I know it's premature, but I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, do we have any kind of a number right now? And I'm sure all the bills are not in, but do we have any kind of number where we're at right now, Wendy?
We don't have a final number, no. It's,
Probably don't want to say a number until it's thing, because if we say
There-
too low, then we're gonna say,
there are additional bills that are being processed at this time.
Okay,
it's considerable, let's put it that way.
yeah, well,
Sounds like it's over $1 million.
A million, I mean, when we had big windows 7-10 years ago, they were a million,
just
two
looking at the
million
la-
too. So let's just, you know, and I've said that before.
The largest number on the budget's $1 million.
okay, so,
Well, we try to collect everything so that we get the, you know what I mean, a good number, and then we can allocate it so that we have an idea. It was a big winter, I mean, we had actual snow removal at 2 or 3 different occasions, like there's a full event to be able to make room for more snow and also to help the businesses and people be able to navigate through the business district.
page 49, expenses for snow and ice, it's level funded.
The good news is we have an ability to pay for it within the fiscal year rather than carrying over a legal deficit that you then have to raise and make cuts going into the next budget, as was the practice here for 4 decades.
maybe longer.
Yeah.
You're right, that was the budget killer, because we had to make the money up and it affected
The next budget.
operational budget for that next year. We had to make cuts. Or have creative accounting as we did at one point in time. Page 50, streetlights. It's level funded. Any questions by the committee? Motor vehicle, 42, 51, and 52. How many employees do we have in motor pool? Just one?
Just the one, yes.
Just one? Is there any questions on the salaries for motor pool by the committee? No, we can go to 51. Fifty-one and 52 are the expenses for the motor pool. The expenses are actually of a very small amount. Any questions? Debbie, I'm gonna keep on calling you Debbie, I don't even know who Debbie is. Sorry, Terry. Another senior
Are we
moment.
gonna, have a problem with the fuel, with the increase in gas and diesel?
So I think it catches up with, after a while, we're in a consortium with other communities and we buy, for a certain amount of years under a contract and pay a certain amount, and there is some ability for them to adjust if things get, after so many months or whatever, but, generally we try to negotiate long-term contracts that, whether it's electricity or, the fuel, and try to do the best we can with pricing, so. We're less affected, but eventually you either pay now or later, somewhere they catch up with you.
So would they surcharge that? How would
So there's
they-
sometimes within the contracts, most of them have some sort of an out, if it gets over a certain amount, that they can, make an adjustment. Hopefully the fuel will come down soon.
Okay, if there's no more questions, we can move on to waste, collection. Page 43 and 53. There's a jump there, so what's that jump attributed to?
Just the new contract, we have since July 1st that's been in place. If you remember, the old contractor, that was, for hauling was going,
Yeah, no, this one's for salaries.
oh, okay.
Sorry, page 43, this is for
It's
salaries.
a correction to bring it in line with what it should be.
It's a
This year's
correction.
budget is a little low.
Yeah, I think last year was a little low, it was a correction.
Okay. Page 53. For waste collection. Well, even with the new contractor though, you managed to keep it pretty close, Scott.
Yeah,
4,422,000. This year's projected at 4,430,000, so.
By the way, they've done a great job.
we've had a lot of, we had a tough road, I think, with the other contract, because of the contract that I had negotiated with the other, predecessor, they were not, I think they were struggling because of the financial situation. It was a great contract for the residents and for us for at least 3 or 4 years. And I think they were looking to try to breach and have us part ways so that then they could,
Make up for it.
get out of the contract. And so we sort of held their feet to the fire, but if you remember, we were having, every single night they were not picking up the route, and then they would they weren't sending enough manpower, so then they would, be late, and we'd have a day, 2 days late that they were picking up. That went on for a long time. And then we were fortunate enough to switch companies the day that they went on strike. And a lot of communities had a lot of issues, but, so I think we fared fairly well in that situation as a
Certainly
community.
did.
Technical timing.
What's that, yeah?
Well,
Technical timing.
I know that you brought it up to the committee, and everybody, Board of Selectmen, everybody, that this here is an archaic way of picking up trash and everybody's moving to automation. Do we have any kind of a window on when that might be
Yes.
forced upon us?
Well, I think it's a matter of the community. I think that if we have there was a committee that's meeting, and hopefully they'll continue to kind of lead the charge in what they want and what they don't want. Because I think it makes a lot of sense for the town, but as you guys know, if it's my idea, then it'll be a problem. So hopefully,
It's the same
different,
20 people though.
yeah, hopefully you can get, a committee that can come up with ideas of how it is. Because in all fairness, right, change, any kind of change is stressful for people, even if it's positive change or good change. And I think that process is challenging, and but I think it'll be better for the community to have the toters and with lids on them and all that stuff. And hopefully they'll be able to come out with some kind of a policy, of what we should adopt and move that. But we're open-ended to be able to switch into that under the contract, so it's, and it may actually cost us less, believe it or not, so.
Okay, any questions from the committee? No? We can go to the cemetery, 44 and 54. Small increase in salaries, everything else appears to be level funded. Committee have any questions? No, we can go to page 54. Did you have a question, John? No? Appears to be level funded. Any questions by the committee? Nope. And parks, page 45 and 55. Increases looks like it's contractual, correct? It's not significant, but small increase in overtime. Any questions by the committee? No, I can go to page 55. Expenses. It's up $10,000. Any questions on the committee on the expense side of that department? No? Okay, we've covered tonight's agenda. As I said, next week, we'll be covering town boards. It's already been posted in town hall. And that will be for the 8th, and then for the 15th, I will be posting other departments, and jet and employee benefits.
Are we gonna cover the enterprise or not, is that not tonight?
Oh, that's right, sorry. Well, I don't have a page, but it's titled up here, yes.
This is the ones that don't have pages.
Yeah.
Oh, they have pages.
Oh, okay.
They may say 1, 2,
After
and
15
3.
years, we got pages.
Sorry.
They may say 1, 2, and
Thank
3,
you,
but
Scott.
you have pages
All right. I never can figure out.
at the end of the
Oh, perfect.
general fund.
All right.
Yeah, see, there's Matthew little comments.
Actually,
Where is this in the book?
I don't have that section in my book. I don't think, do I?
You don't?
I don't think I do. That's debt service.
What is it?
Program operating,
What is it, Kevin?
The enterprise account.
Oh, okay. Why it's so small?
Your recommendation.
Oh,
Yeah.
Go to the very end of the general fund report,
right in
and
the
sewer
first
starts
page.
right after.
No, that, not.
right after debt service, right?
This one?
Yeah,
No, all the way back. Oh, all the way.
there it is.
Rush.
There we
Page
go.
73 is the last page of the general fund, and then the sewer
All the way
enterprise
back.
begins.
Yeah, so if you keep scrolling forward, you should be, go forward, I think, you should be on page 3.
74.
Oh, you might not have it. You wanna look on?
No,
Next
you need to
page,
go back
next
more.
Keep going.
You need to
Keep
go
going.
back. Oh, I'm sorry, go back all the way. All the way.
There you go, you're right there.
There you go.
So Wendy, like,
He left that.
as usual, will you point out some of the things to us that we should be really looking at here in the sewer enterprise fund?
Well, Mr. Chairman, the only line item that I'm really involved in is the calculation and review of the operation and maintenance costs with the Lynn Water and Sewer Treatment Plant. You know, as you know, the Abrahams Group, when we're working on the water and sewer rate analysis, that's one of the items that Matt Abraham spends quite a bit of time reviewing the documentation that the Lynn Water and Sewer Commission provides to us as to what's happening with their capital plans and improvements to the plant, and when the debt service is coming online, and then the day-to-day operational cost estimate that they provide to us. They sort of provide us a low, high, and a median number in the middle. So right now, it's just reflecting, I believe, the highest estimate they provided to us at this point in time. So as we get closer to going to town meeting then, and setting the water and sewer rates, that number may change a little bit.
Okay,
But that's my investment in the direct expense of the enterprise fund. The
Okay.
rest is Brendan's. And the debt service, of course.
So the
That's all.
salaries in the sewer enterprise fund, is that, did we add another person? Is that contractual?
The same staff.
If you take out the.
Are there any questions on the salary end of the sewer enterprise fund? The next page, which is page 2, it looks like that's where the expenses start.
Pardon me, Mr. Chairman, I believe if you take out the increase for the Lynn assessment, it's essentially level funded. You take out just that one item, essentially a level funded budget.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
can I ask you a question to the DPW director?
Sure.
Lynn is doing a lot of CSO work. Is any of that coming our way in terms of charges? Are we responsible for any of that?
The CSO work, no. The improvements to the plant, which they're making significant improvements there as well. We pay somewhere between 15 and 20% of those costs because our flows are 15 to 20% of the flows. that
So it's
go-
proportionate to whatever the communities that contribute.
my last
They
one-
also, I mean, I think we talked about this a couple of years ago, they brought in a different company that's doing the operations there, which is what, considerably more money.
Yeah, that's 100% accurate. What happened right after they brought in that new company is the old company bought the new company.
Yep.
But the point is the same. It is a significant increase in operation costs. That being said, I'm sorry for sounding like a broken record every year I come here and say this. We get a deal and a half.
It's the best deal around.
If we were going to MWRA, that assessment you see there, that $2.5 million, we're probably not 30%, probably 300% higher than what you're seeing there. So we get a good deal.
The last question, Mr. Chairman, are our flows up? The amount of gallons we're sending?
Peter, I haven't checked it for these 2 months this year's. Our flows were slightly down because of more as a result of the drought that we had last year than anything else. But I haven't checked it for the first 3 months of this year yet.
Just to add to that question, if all these new developments come online, what is that gonna do for our substation as far as, are we built big enough to handle that kind of stuff?
So I'll let him end the technical part, but I've heard this, this has always been a question for so many years, and I think that 20 years ago, they talked about, we're gonna run out of capacity. A lot of that capacity had to do with the I&I. So in other words, you have stormwater
Right, we
that was
took it
entering
out,
into the
right.
system. And so as you take more and more out, and we continue to do that, you open capacity up. But I guess I'll quote, I think Brendan said this a bunch of years ago, a couple different years. But if you have, say the maximum is a 10, that you could have, we're running at probably a 3, 4. And then when there's surges because of stormwater and stuff, it may get up to a 6, 7 or something like that. But there's definitely capacity there, even with the new developments. But the other big thing that we did, as you know, you invested, the selectmen supported, town meeting supported it, is we had that $4.3 million, which if we did it now, it'd be probably $7 or $8 million to do it, but we got that appropriation and we modified, Brendan worked with, it was Weston and Sampson that designed, the design was terrible down there because it didn't have a bypass. So for years and years, they were dumping sewage into the river. They have 3 pumps and 3 drivers, and they were never working. So in other words, there's always one broken, and we just didn't have the money, so we never fixed them. And that was one of the bigger issues. So the design that they come up with and that we invested in is to be able to have a bypass. So if a pump goes down or a driver goes down, we're able to shut it off, still have a bypass so it's still working, and be able to repair that, and then bring it back up online. And you know, we're actually doing some repairs now, waiting for a part, but having 3 pumps online is phenomenal, because they alternate one running, and then if it gets more capacity, the second one runs, and if you get to, you know, where there's torrential floods and into the system, you get 3 pumps that kick on. But to have that, it's, you know, phenomenal, the investment that we made in that part of it, but it also, it provides capacity as well. So it was just never a system that wasn't designed well, it was never paid for, we never invested, never maintained, invested the money. If we say we're broke, we have no money in Saugus, and so they didn't do anything. But I think one of the things that we've done, and at least in this department as well as others, is this, we do a lot of, as you guys know, because you've supported this as well as town meeting, is having long-term plans and master capital on all these different things, and be able to chip away a little bit of money each year to each different, you know, each different need that's been identified, and this is one of those that we've been continuing to invest. One of the big things that's gonna cost, which I think we got some good news recently, is there's a line that goes from Saugus all the way to Linden. We are responsible all the way into Linden for the plant. We did do some testing recently, we thought it was gonna be worse than it was, but it actually is better news. So I think that, you know, that'll be something that'll have to be looked at longer term, but like to be able to maybe piecemeal it, so it's not a big, huge $10 million project or whatnot, right? Is that accurate, I guess? I've heard you so many times with the explanations.
So I guess I'm lucky I don't get paid by the words, because I got already covered it all, pretty much. But yes, there's gonna be over $10 million if we had to, Plymouth, Massachusetts has been one where they had to replace their force main of similar length. Ours will be significantly under 1 million, and maybe drastically under that to fix that, and it doesn't have to be fixed this year or next year, it can be fixed over multiple years, so that's good news.
Yeah, that is excellent news.
Thank you.
We don't need another catastrophe down there in the river.
And you know, we've done it's been a great job, I think, of understanding how rates work and different things, because we're able to generate, the rates are able to generate enough income that pays for debt service operations and whatnot. And I know that's, you know, nobody wants to pay additional monies, but that was the sort of the problem that was lingered the town for years and years. I think Winthrop went through it a bunch of years ago. Each place has gone through where the rates aren't producing, so you're putting other supplemental money in there, and it's a structural deficit. It doesn't work. Eventually it catches up, and you cut maintenance, you cut preventive maintenance, you cut repairs, and you have significant problems if you don't keep up with it. So we've done, I think, you know, in the DPW, we've done a great job of keeping that up in the services for the town.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Brendan, are all 3 pumps working at the pump station still?
Yeah.
They're all up and running?
Right now, there's one of them that we need to do a minor repair to, we're waiting on a part, and hopefully that'll be a couple of weeks from now that it'll be up. But is it like before where it was gonna be years to fix it? No, it's a typical.
No, in the pot, I think we're ordering, you're gonna order a backup,
Exactly.
because it's a supply chain issue.
Exactly.
So we're gonna order an extra pot so that we have it on hand.
But just so there's no misunderstanding, the maximum capacity of the plant is with 2 pumps running. So even if the 3rd pump was available, we could.
It's only running one pump.
One pump.
One pump.
So
So
we-
the other 2 pumps was a driver and it was a pump.
Correct.
The force main can't take more than 2 pumps running at peak capacity, so why do you need the 3rd? Because what if
Redundancy.
what if one of the pump goes down? So that's why
Right.
the third.
Because I remember you telling us that if you had to bring in a mobile one,
Yes.
it was an incredible, significant
Yes.
cost.
Yes.
Significant.
Yep.
And that was part of the reason why the committee was so on board to make sure we recommended the funding for that. You know, to make sure that all 3 pumps would be online at one time, you know? And it's worked, it's done a great job, and I think the town's done a good job at the ACO too. Apparently, that goes to Terry's question about capacity, and,
Well, plus cost, right?
You know.
Because if, understand that. the
we had to do
premise-
it now?
But- No, but I'm saying the cost, right, but the cost of, when you're having, stormwater going into a sewage treatment plant, you're paying for water,
Clean
clean
water to
water
be
that shouldn't be
treated.
in the system that you have to pay to have
Right.
processed and treated, so it's a big deal. I mean, we're continuing to do some of the other substations, and, when you get done, you'll be, I mean, this is stuff people won't know, someone will come in here 10 years from now and say, wow, you know what I mean, like, we're in good shape, water and sewer infrastructure.
Okay, if there's no more questions, we can go on to the Water Enterprise Fund. It's right after the sewer, obviously. How many employees do we have in the Water Enterprise?
Three.
3?
Three that are assigned now, obviously, if there's emergencies.
Yeah, I know, they go from back and forth, but. All the increases there look like they're contractual. You have licenses that went up a little bit for the men and women. Overtime carrying a slightly higher number. The other line items were level funded. Any questions by the committee? Next page, we'll look at the expenses. Go ahead, ask.
There seems to be quite a, never mind, because it's the ask, never mind.
Yeah, I made that mistake myself too, Terry.
Okay.
Also the assessment. The assessment's really driving the increase in this budget. That assessment, is that our best guess, or is
It's an estimate at this time, yeah, we're just, I think the board of directors made a vote, so that'll get updated as we get closer to town meeting.
If you just compare it to the 1 year, it looks like it's large, but if you go back to 2024, and you look at it over a 3-year period, it's only about a 5% increase over 3 years. So that's a pretty modest increase over a 3-year period for an MWA community.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
can I ask
Peter.
a question?
Go ahead.
Water main replacement program. The town meeting had a list of what roads you're planning to, are you planning to do any replacements of water mains? I see about 625 in the budget for next year.
Yes, we have a listing. I'm working with the town engineers. We're working, I believe they're working with the design engineers on that project. I can ask them where the status of that stands. I could ask them where the status of that stands. There was a listing, there was options for them to select
But
from.
you have a long-term plan, don't you?
That's actually a very, very good question. The last time that long-term plan was updated was 2012, 2014, and they're in the process right now of updating that plan.
They
right now.
signed a contract recently.
Which is pretty, every 10, 12 years, update a plan like that, that's pretty standard. So it's a pretty timely question that's being done as we speak.
And finally, Mr. Chairman, do you have a listing of black hydrants that you're replacing?
I don't have a listing.
That's the fire department.
That comes from the fire department to you?
They work in coordination with hydrants.
Thank you.
Brendan, was the Summer Street water mains this past summer part of that new plan and contract?
Summer Street water main?
Yeah.
I'm not aware of Summer Street water main
What
being.
That was
was
gas.
the work that went
That
on?
was, I think that was gas.
Oh, that
That
was
was the
gas,
gas
I'm
company,
sorry.
that's what I spoke about
Yeah.
earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That was the gas company, National Grid Gas, for the development in the corner.
Oh, I
That
thought you
went
said
on and
so.
on and on and on.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, from,
Okay, with that being said, we've completed tonight's business. Yes,
I just have a couple, I'm sorry, Ms. Markey, precinct 6, town meeting, Council Reagan. I want to repeat the sentiments of everybody in the say thank you so much for the winter and everything you've done.
I'll let the ladies and gentlemen know, thank you very much.
Just wanted to go over the salaries and wage, departmental salary schedule. Just trying to figure out which positions, if we could go through them, are filled at the moment and which ones aren't filled. If you don't mind, I think that's page, I think it was the first page of your,
really?
Okay,
sorry, Mr. Sereno?
Really?
Really? Thank you. Appreciate your respect.
how,
It's very simple. I'm just looking at administration department.
let me just go back to that.
Sure.
What page are you referring
Or if
to?
you want, you could probably just mark that down as which ones are filled and which ones aren't, if that would make it easier.
Yeah.
Because that was within the proposed budget.
Okay, I haven't seen this page, so, you wanna just write next to
I don't
it?
know.
Yeah, you can just put
Administration.
fill and non-fill, here's a pen right there. Thank you so much. And I'll be more than happy if you'd like to make a copy of it. Since it doesn't seem to be in those packages.
I'll have to get back to you on cemetery and waste collection, I'll speak to the people in those departments.
Thank you very much.
I don't think they're your departments anyway.
I'm sorry?
They're not your departments anyway.
Right, so,
I think in your department, you only have, what, two positions that are unfilled or one?
with the new person coming on, when they come on, they haven't come on yet, then there'd be 2, right? Yeah, so it'd be 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so like I said, I'm not, these 2 haven't commented on it.
No, don't worry. I
Yeah.
appreciate you taking the time, and if you'd like, Mr. Chairman, if you want me to make a copy of that and send it to everybody, just for the record.
No, that's okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
We just noted it as we went.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
you're welcome. Are there any other questions? No? So I went over what we'll be going over next week and the following week. Basically, that's it. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.